Yo, what's good, everybody? It's Austin here, or Luna. So first of all, I just want to say thank you for all the support on my last upload. People seem to really like the part 2 of the Jeremy saga. Nothing's happened since then. People have hit me up being like, dude, like, have you heard from Jeremy since then? Like, have you gotten any updates? Like, no, nothing's happened. Obviously, if it does, I'll let y'all know. I'm hoping it doesn't, because I don't want to make another video about that guy, but, you know, if it happens, it happens. But I'm just going to avoid that store that he works at and hope for the best. But anyway, today's story time is a funny one. It's just one of those videos where I look back and I laugh at how stupid I was. And I hope you enjoy it. If you do, leave a like on the video and let's jump into it. So today's story time all takes place back when I was 18. It was actually like 2 days after my 18th birthday. Now, around this time, I was just grinding YouTube videos. Like right after I turned 18, I was still living in my hometown. I was grinding YouTube, just saving up, getting ready to move out, live on my own, you know, go to LA. I was just basically just in grind mode, right? I wasn't doing anything. And also, I wasn't doing anything in terms of like smoking either. Like, you know, back in the day, I used to vape a little bit and smoke some weed, obviously, we all know that. But around this time, I wasn't doing anything. I was completely sober, just in grind mode, trying to stack money up to move to LA, right? That was my whole plan, essentially. And yeah, I was a little bit of a hermit. Like, every time someone would hit me up and they'd be like, yo, you want to hang out? I would usually say yes, but I would never hang out for very long. And around this time, I also stopped spending the night at people's houses. Like, back in the day, I used to go to people's houses all the time and spend the night, and like, you know, crash on their couch if I needed to. But now it's like I'd go and spend a couple hours there and then I'd go home and keep working on videos, right? That's just how set I was on doing this. And yeah, this all starts off like any other normal day back then. I had just finished making a video. And I was taking a shower because your boy hadn't showered yet that day. So I was feeling pretty disgusting. So I was in the shower. And while I'm in the shower, my phone starts ringing. And it was on the other side of the room on the counter. And I thought to myself, okay, whoever's calling, it can wait. It's not that important. I'm not jumping out the shower and answering it. It'll wait. So I let the phone ring. I let it go to voicemail. I keep showering. And like a minute later, it starts ringing again. And I'm like, what the hell, man? So I get up out the shower, I dry off really, really fast, run over to my phone. I look at the caller ID. It's some random number I've never seen before. I answer it. I'm like, hello? And I hear, yo, Austin, what's good? And I was like, what's up? Who's this? And he goes, it's Alex, dude. And I was like, oh, shit. Alex was a good friend of mine who I went to school with. I'm still friends with him to this day. Super cool dude. And I was like, what's up, man? I didn't recognize your number. Like, did you get a new one? He's like, yeah, that's why I'm calling you, actually. I just got this new phone, giving everyone my new number. How you doing, man? I was like, good. He's like, you doing anything tonight? And I was like, not as of right now. He's like, you want to come over? I'm having people over for a bonfire. And I was like, yeah, I could come over for a couple hours. Why not? He's like, bet, it starts at 8. I'm like, okay, see you then. So yeah, after that, I was actually kind of stoked because, you know, like I said, around this time, I wasn't doing a whole lot. So it was going to be nice to get out for a couple hours, take a little bit of a break, and then get back to it. So yeah, after I showered, I got ready, got dressed, went back to my computer, played a quick game of CS with some friends, and then after that, I got off my computer, hopped in the car, and went to my homie's house. Now, after arriving to Alex's house, I went inside, said what up to Alex. He told me a few other people were there that I knew. He brought me out back, and he was right. There was like 3 other people there at the bonfire from my school that I knew pretty well. And it was cool, man. Like, I got to reunite with some old friends from school that I didn't really talk to in a while. And it was a cool bonfire. I'd say the first hour or so was like pretty chilled, nothing really too crazy. And then like an hour and a half into it, Alex gets some devious smirk on his face and he goes inside the house, comes back out, and he has this tray, this giant tray of brownies. And I didn't even need to be told what they were. I already knew. I knew from the jump what they were going to be the second I saw them. And he sets them down on the little table out there in front of the bonfire. And everybody gets up and starts eating them. And I'm sitting there like, I could not eat one of those things. If I eat one, I will be too fried. Because I hadn't done any edibles or smoked or anything in so long. So yeah, I vowed to myself and I was like, I'm not going to do that. And sure enough, after everyone takes one except me, Alex looks over at me and he's like, dude, you're not going to have one? And I was like, nah, I think I'm good. And he's like, all right, man, that's fine. They're there if you want them. And I'm like, all right, man, thank you. And the funniest part is, like, nobody peer pressured me after that. Like, no one said anything about me not eating the edibles. I just sat there and I was at the fire. And like 10 minutes later, I got fucking FOMO, dude. I started being like, oh man, am I missing out right now? Like, I'm going to join them. And yeah, I undid the little wrap on the baking tray. I grab one of the brownies and I start munching on it. And everyone kind of looks at me with those eyes of like,
welcome to the dark side.
Sorry about that, got possessed for a second. But yeah, everybody was looking at me like, I just joined the dark side. It was so funny. And yeah, I ate one brownie. And about 30 minutes in, I kind of started to feel it a little bit. Not crazy, just a little bit. And I was actually feeling okay. I was feeling pretty good. And then my friend lights up a backwood and he starts passing it around the fire. And I thought, okay, when this gets to me, am I going to partake or am I going to say no? And when it was finally my turn, I decided, you know what? I'll take one hit. So I took one hit. And even that one hit, man, it hit me pretty strong. And then it got, around the circle again. And then it came back to me a second time. And I thought, okay, 2 hits won't hurt. So I do a second one. And that one hit me even stronger. And now I'm coughing up a fucking lung, the edible's kicking in even harder, and I'm off 2 hits of this backwood, and I'm really feeling it. I'm really feeling it a little too much, man. I went from being like happy and, chill to like paranoid, like what's gonna go wrong? Anyway, they kept passing the wood around like 2 or 3 more times. I skipped on those times, so I was just feeling crazy at this point. And it gets worse. So like 20 minutes later, I start feeling even more messed up. Because the edible was just delayed. Like, I thought like 30 or 40 minutes in, I was starting to feel it. But I think that might have been in my head. Because like 30 or 40 minutes later, I was actually starting to feel it. And you could see it on my face. Alex looked at me and he's like, dude, you look as pale as a ghost. And I was like, dude, I'm starting to feel the edible. And like mixed with that backwood, bro, I'm not feeling too hot. And he's like, you good? You gonna throw up? I'm like, no, I just feel like really, really like out of it. Like lightheaded and like paranoid. Just like pure anxiety, dude. He's like, I get it, man. I get it. Here, just like chill, kick back, just relax. And he like reclined this little like lawn chair I was sitting in and kind of like made me look up at the stars and relax for a second. And I can't lie, for like 10, 20 minutes, it actually kind of helped. I was just sitting there looking up at the stars, listening to the music on the Bluetooth speaker behind me. And I was just relaxing, right? Not talking to anybody, just relaxing. And then 30 minutes later, it got worse, dude. This edible, like, bro, it just got more and more intense every like 30 minutes. And by like hour 4, dude, it was done. I felt like total ass. Like, just panic attack, nonstop, like pale as a ghost. I got really nauseous, and I felt like I was losing control of my own body. I don't even know how to describe the way I was feeling and like make it make sense, but like if I could try and describe it, it felt like someone stuck me into a drying machine and turned it on. Like I was dizzy, it felt like everything was spinning. I felt super warm, like I had a fever or something. I was nauseous, I was pale. I felt like shit, dude, and this edible was just kicking my ass. And everyone at the fire was trying to like calm me down, and I just felt bad. I felt like I was just killing the whole vibe. So I decided, you know what, I gotta leave. Like, it's been over 4 hours now, I'm still not having a good time, it's only getting worse, I just gotta go home. So I told my homie, I told Alex, I was like, yo, I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna go home. And he's like, dude, honestly, like, I think you just go upstairs, lay down for a bit, relax, like, let it wear off for a little bit, man. And I was like, I don't know, man, I kinda just wanna go home and, like, go to sleep. He's like, I know, but, like, honestly, dude, I'm afraid you're gonna pass out or something when you leave, so, like, just go upstairs and lay down. And honestly, given the fact that how dizzy I was, his concerns definitely made a lot of sense. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to listen to Alex. So I got up, said goodnight to everybody, turned around, went in Alex's house, went upstairs, and I laid down in his room. Now, I put on some random Netflix show, and I was just sitting there in his bed, just like watching it. And I was actually feeling okay. I was kind of starting to like, come out of this like crazy anxiety spiral and feel a little bit good. Then all of a sudden, like 10 minutes later, I hear a knock on Alex's door, and I hear his mom's voice. I hear her go, Alex, you in there, honey? And I was like, no, it's Austin. And I completely forgot his parents were even home. So now I'm just worried about what I'm going to say when this lady opens the door and sees how fucking high I am. And she opens the door, and she looks at me, and she doesn't even say hello or like anything. She just goes, wow. And I was like, what? What's that mean? She's like, your eyes are redder than the sun. And I was like, yeah, I'm not feeling too good. And she goes, what'd you do? You eat one of those brownies? She knew about the brownies, which is fucking hilarious. I guess she just didn't care about Alex doing that. I don't know. But I was like, yeah, I ate one. And she goes, honey, those things are so strong. I ate like a little piece of one just to see, and even that messed me up. So I can only imagine how you feel right now. And this dude's mom was just being so chill. I never really talked to Alex's mom like that, so it was cool to like kind of, see this side of her, that she was so chill, and kind of just understood that, like, at our age, at 18, like sometimes we mess up and make stupid mistakes, and she was really cool about it. And yeah, I ended up talking to her for like 5 minutes, and after those 5 minutes, she looked at me and she was like, do you want me to make you something to eat? Like, do you want anything that would help you feel better? And I was like, no, just water would be fine or something like that. And she goes, for sure, I'll get you some water. She goes downstairs, she grabs me water, she comes back up, and after she hands me the water, I'm just sipping it, and I'm just sitting there, and she's standing there in the doorway, and after I got done sipping the water, I look up at her, and I was like, so, do you, like, not care about Alex, like, smoking weed, and, like, everyone out there smoking weed? And she's like, no, I don't. I mean, you're 18, you guys are adults, technically, and, like, there's a lot worse things you could be doing than a little bit of weed. And I was like, that's true, that's a good way to look at it, I guess. And she's like, you guys aren't doing anything else, right? And I was like, no, I promise. There's nothing else out there, I promise. And she goes, you do? And I was like, yes, I promise. She goes, okay, good, I trust you. And I was not lying to her. That was the truth. That group of friends, that's all they did. And yeah, after this, she left. She went back into her room, and I was just sitting there sipping this water. And like 15 minutes after she left, I started to get this really weird feeling in my stomach, like the nausea feeling, but worse. And your boy puked. Yeah, I threw up quite a bit. I also want to make it known, I did make it to the bathroom. I didn't like puke in my friend's bed or something. That'd be really, really nasty. And after I was done throwing up, I walked out into the hallway, and his mom was there, and she was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I had to puke. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, do you want anything? And I was like, just more water would be great. And she's like, all right, I'll get some. She went downstairs, she grabbed me more water, and I spent the rest of that night just taking like baby sips of water, just sitting in my homie's room. And eventually I felt better. It took a couple hours, but eventually I was good. It wore off a bit. And I was less nauseous. But yeah, guys, I learned a valuable lesson on this night. I should have never eaten the whole brownie, and I should not have hit the backwood twice. I think just those things in general, combined with not having a tolerance really at all at that point, really, really just messed me up, and I learned the hard way. But yeah, guys, that is a story of how I got way too fried and embarrassed myself in front of my friends and my friend's mom. But luckily, they were very understanding, and my friend's mom was very chill. So shout out to Alex's mom, shout out to Alex, shout out to all my friends, good people. But yeah, guys, that's the story. Moral of the story is, don't be like young Luna. He was an idiot. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed the story time, please leave a like on the video. I would really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below. And subscribe if you're new. I will see you guys all later. Peace.
I'm in a bad mood, I can see it today.